What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly from a special edition of Smackdown emanating from Scotland. Plus, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Cody Rhodes' big destination match revealed, Roman Reigns turning babyface, Bayley entering the Forbidden Door, potential major Money in the Bank spoiler, and more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. As always, we won't recap the show, we'll just provide you with the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good. Strong opener. SmackDown from Scotland kicked off with a match between Naomi and Chelsea Green. The in-ring output was great from these two, and it helped further the storyline between Bayley and Piper Niven, who were at ringside for the match. Naomi and Green have to be considered two of the favorites heading into the Money in the Bank match next month, and Naomi has already declared interest in participating in the annual matchup. A major face turn is coming. WWE continued to tease Austin Theory's face turn. During an episode of the Grayson Waller Effect with DIY showed footage of Theory being thrown into harm's way last week on SmackDown. Theory looked noticeably rattled by this, and his annoyance increased every time Waller cut him off. Gargano added fuel to the fire by stating that Theory is being used by Waller. The segment then ended in physicality, and the DIY versus A-Town Down Under matchup is likely to take place in the next few weeks, or perhaps even the Money in the Bank PLE in July. Cody AJ face-off. The undisputed highlight of SmackDown was the confrontation between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. AJ would run down Rhodes and claim that he's quit every company that he's ever worked for. As always, Rhodes had a passionate and pure babyface rebuttal, and the crowd were invested for the entire duration of the segment. Rhodes vs. AJ2 is one of the most anticipated matchups of the weekend, and if their first matchup is anything to go by, fans are in store for another all-time classic. Kevin Owens vs. Solo Sikoa. SmackDown was main evented by Kevin Owens vs. Solo Sikoa, and Owens received one of the biggest reactions of the entire night. The finish of the match came when Paul Heyman put Sikoa's foot on the rope, and this eventually allowed Sikoa to hit a sinister Samoan spike for the win. Randy Orton would make a dramatic return in the post-match shenanigans with the Bloodline, which came as a huge surprise as there was no information surrounding Orton's potential return. In relation to Owens, the former Universal Champion is in urgent need of a fresh feud, as he's been feuding with the Bloodline for way too long. Unfortunately, it looks like this feud is set to continue into the summer months, as WWE will inevitably book one more Owens and Orton vs. Bloodline matchup. The bad. Santos vs. Apollo. Santos Escobar vs. Apollo on the show highlighted just how thin the SmackDown roster is. Both men received zero reaction, which is shocking considering the show was taking place in an international market. The crowd could care less about either man, and sooner or later, Triple H needs to reassess characters such as Escobar and Apollo and try to address why they aren't over with the audience. The highlight of the aforementioned match saw Baron Corbin make a cameo, which was great to see, as Corbin has a ton of potential as a babyface and has years of experience to add to the Blue Brand's roster. The crowd did seem somewhat into Corbin, as a Baron Corbin chant was heard throughout the match. This is a positive sign for Corbin, as the fan interest in him being involved in a featured program is definitely there. The ugly. Nothing on the show stands out as ugly. The show did a decent job in promoting Clash at the Castle. The show does have some issues, and it does feel inferior compared to Raw. Raw has numerous compelling stories, ranging from the Chad Gable vs. Sami Zayn story to the Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio storyline. On SmackDown, the Cody Rhodes vs. AJ Styles program is red hot, and some may argue the Bloodline feud is still borderline cinematic, yet these stories simply aren't as strong as the Raw counterparts. Cody Rhodes' big destination match revealed. Our top story today looks at the new report relating to Cody Rhodes and his WWE title. Although Rhodes is set to face AJ Styles at Clash at the Castle this weekend, it seems like WWE are already planting the seeds for Rhodes' next challenger. According to Dave Meltzer in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Rhodes' big destination match is going to be with Solo Sikoa. It's unknown when this match will be, but it's possible it goes down at either Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. Since this report broke on social media, the reaction has been overwhelmingly negative. Whilst there's no denying that Sikoa has improved in recent months, fans are collectively asking if Sikoa is main event material. Of course, the issue on the SmackDown side is that there is a lack of menacing and credible heels outside of AJ that are legitimate enough to face Rhodes. However, this is something WWE should have considered before the annual WWE draft. Would you be interested in seeing Rhodes versus Sikoa? Let us know in the comments section below. Roman Reigns turning babyface? Speaking of Solo Sikoa, it's expected that Sikoa versus Roman Reigns is the destination when Reigns eventually returns to TV. According to Dave Meltzer, Reigns will likely be working as babyface, which seems only logical based on the fan support he's been receiving since being off TV. There has been no news lately on Reigns versus The Rock, but it would be totally nonsensical if the match doesn't take place. Naturally, The Rock's recent injury may factor into when, or even if, the match will go down. The Rock was recently interviewed by ESPN, and he did state that he will be involved in WrestleMania 41 next year. We're on the 1-yard line to create the biggest WrestleMania match of all time at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. I'll just leave it at that, Final Boss style. It's entirely possible that this interview was conducted before the Final Boss's recent injury, so we'll have to wait to see how the next 9 months of WWE programming play out. Bayley entering the Forbidden Door? The WWE and TNA crossover is well underway, and one current WWE star who wants to wrestle in other promotions is Bayley. During a media junket ahead of Clash at the Castle, the WWE Women's Champion revealed her desire to step through WWE's version of the Forbidden Door. The more that it's been happening, it really didn't hit me that it was possible until I saw Jordynne Grace come out on NXT. I immediately texted Hunter and texted Sean. I wanted to be at that show. I would love to be front row for this. It's a historic match. Just to get my face out there. Hey, I'm watching, I'm the champion, can you consider me if we ever do something with TNA? Bayley then went one step further and declared her interest in wrestling in Japan. I would love to do something like that. Marigold, Rossi, Ogawa, I'm down. I've wrestled a couple of times in Japan with WWE. I got invited to go to Japan right before I got signed, but I couldn't do it. AJ Styles defends his new theme song. WWE's trend of changing theme songs hasn't gone down too well with the fans, and now AJ Styles has urged fans to give his new theme some time, as they'll gradually start to like it. The former WWE champion discussed his new infamous theme song during an interview with Fightful's Corey Brennan, and this is what he had to say. Listen, if you're trying to compare it to my recent WWE music, you're not going to like it at first, but you'll give it a listen, you'll hear it a lot more, and you'll go, you know what? It's actually pretty good. So just give it some time. You'll like it. I like it. I mean, I helped. I don't want to say that I did any work, but we helped put things where we wanted it and the kind of style I wanted to have. Drew McIntyre shares serious personal news. Drew McIntyre is set for arguably the biggest weekend of his career as he'll challenge Damian Priest for the world title in his home country of Scotland. Appearing on the Clash at the Castle kickoff, McIntyre shared with the fans some personal news that related to his wife. I'm back home. I'm gonna have my people there. My family there, a redo. I wasn't going to talk about it, but I can't stop thinking about it. The one person who's not going to be there is my wife, who's in surgery right now, emergency surgery. She told me, I want you to go there and bring that title home, and I'm going to bring that title home. Wrestlelamia extends our well wishes to McIntyre's wife, and we hope the surgery is a success. Hulk Hogan running for office? Could you imagine Hulk Hogan in the White House? Well, in a recent interview with Fox News, the WWE Hall of Famer revealed that he has aspirations in the world of politics. We need somebody in there that's got some common sense. So if you need a president or vice president, I'll volunteer and take this country over, and I'll rule with an iron fist. A flat tax, nothing but common sense. I know right from wrong, brother. Hogan has hinted at a political career in the past, but he's never followed it through. It'll be interesting to see if this is the time in which Hogan follows through with his side quest. Major potential Money in the Bank spoiler. Our final story looks at a potential spoiler for Money in the Bank next month. According to WrestleVotes on a Spaces last night, it looks like the favorite right now for Mr. Money in the Bank 2024 is Jey Uso. Jey Uso has declared his interest in winning the match on TV, and whilst his popularity and merchandise sales indicate that this would be a smart call, there's certainly other names that would benefit from the huge win. There you have it, folks, the wildest news, stories, and rumors you need to know. Don't forget to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time, back for some more wrestling content.